you were talking to Miss Sangster, did you notice anything about her at all from a standpoint of whether or not she had any marks, bruising, anything at all, anything like that?
No, I did not notice anything.
While you're able to observe her, did her clothes seem to be messed up in any way?
No.
Did it appear she'd been in any kind of a scuffle?
No.
Was her hair out of place?
It didn't appear to be out of place. I mean, it wasn't, all over the place. That was the first time I'd ever met her. I didn't know how she kept her hair, but it didn't look in disarray or anything.
Was the sheriff intoxicated?
He had been drinking.
Was he intoxicated? You've investigated DUI before?
Correct.
You're trained to investigate that? You know all the signs. I'm sorry, was that a yes? I apologize. Can you answer out loud?
What was the question again?
You're trained to investigate DUI.
Yes.
You're trained in the techniques that you would observe in order to think that you needed to follow through or give testing or ask for a breathalyzer. You agree?
Correct.
All right. The sheriff was driving his own personal vehicle that night?
He had drove it over there, and he was never in the car or whatever when I got there.
Okay. Did you feel it necessary to give him a test or to prevent him from driving home? Was he intoxicated at that point?
No, I did not. And the reason I say that is, I talked to him for probably a good 20, 25 minutes out there in this driveway. He admitted to me that he had been drinking. He said he had a drink and smoked some cigars with some friends that night. I could smell it on him, but he was not slurring his words. We were actually standing on a driveway that was sloped, and during the 20, 25 minutes that I was talking to him, he never, fell or staggered or slurred his words. So, I did not feel like it was necessary to do field sobriety test on him at that point.
There was some makeup on his shirt. Did you address that?
Yes, I more or less let him address that. I noticed it right when I first walked up and started talking to him, but the questions that I asked him more or less led into him telling me how it got there.
Did Ms. Sangster's version of what happened correspond to what the sheriff said about the makeup?
Yes.
They had hugged?
Correct.
While you were there, did she demonstrate to you what she alleged the sheriff had done as far as grabbing her arms?
Did she demonstrate it?
Did she show you?
Yes.
Okay. And when she was showing you, did you notice anything unusual?
Well, where she was indicating, up here at the top of the arms, and she was more or less demonstrating how he grabbed her, and she was actually squeezing her arms.
Do you think, and if I told you that phone was actually instrumental to all this, if I told you that, would you think that it was important to make a good record of where that phone was at?
It was my understanding that it was.
Would you think it might be important maybe to take a photograph of
That might have helped, yeah.
it? That might have. Do you think that maybe it would have been good to measure the distance? Actually, get out a tape measure and measure the distance from a phone, say maybe to the end of the closet. You think that might have been good?
That would have helped.
Did you do that?
No, I did not.
Do you think it might have been helpful to measure from where the phone was to, say, where the end of the bed, where the struggle occurred? You think that might have been good?
I think, yeah, it might have helped.
Did you do that?
No, I didn't.
Do you think that it might have been helpful for you to take a photograph of the whole room where the struggle occurred?
Yeah, I was not taking the photographs.
Okay. Did you instruct someone to take a photograph?
Yes.
You did, the whole room.
I instructed them to take photographs of the scene and of Miss Sangster.
Do you have a photograph of the room?
Sir,
Do you have a photograph of the room from that night?
I do not, no.
Neither do we.
Okay.
Do you think that would have been helpful?
Sure.
But apparently you didn't do that either. Did you?
I did not personally, no, I did not.
About a conversation that you were having with Mr. Woolfork, and you indicated that one of the reasons that you determined it wasn't intoxicated was because when you were talking with me, you were standing on slopes drive. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right, now what I have up here is Exhibit 2. It has been entered into evidence. It's a photograph of the victim's home, and that's the driver. See the driver?
Yes.
Is that much of a slope?
It's not level.
Look at the slope.
I don't know what the percent grade is, but it's not level.
Okay. Did you get a level out and check it out?
No, I did not.
Is that the kind of slope that you were contemplating when you specified earlier that you think it's intoxicated because it was standing on the sloped driveway?
I could feel it was uneven. It was not perfectly level as I was standing on it.
You were
About, I know Kim looked up the picture, we were maybe, I guess maybe 15 feet, maybe up the driveway
okay.
towards, more towards that side of the driveway. Looking at everything, the evidence at the scene and talking to both of them, and the only consistent, there wasn't, and not that we need physical injuries to make an arrest on determine the primary aggressor, but there wasn't any at the time of the call. And after talking with both of them, and the only consistent statement that I got between the two of them was the fact that they had a mutual hug.
But the information I just gave you, right, all that stuff, I'm gonna say it again.
But I also testified too about the bed and the tussle in the bedroom. That bedroom by no means looked out of disarray.
Well, let me ask you this, because you also testified you didn't bother to take a photograph of it, did you?
Correct.
Also, isn't it a good idea to take down a report, to write down your observations? Isn't that what a good police officer does?
Well, in this case, it would have been irrelevant because none of the witnesses in this case have even seen the report or anything relevant to that case.
Let's back up a little bit. You're a lieutenant investigating the crime scene, right?
Correct.
Shouldn't you record your observations?
I did not, as far as, if you're asking if I did any type
I'm
of,
asking you, shouldn't you record your observations as a lieutenant investigating a serious crime?
normally, when the supervisor goes to the scene of a domestic, okay, if the officer calls us and says they cannot determine the primary aggressor, okay, if we go there, we talk to the officer or officers about what happened, we may or we may not talk to the alleged victim or the alleged suspect. Typically, the supervisor does not do any type of written statement as far as what they found,
You talked to Woolfork, you said for 20, 30 minutes.
approximately.
You didn't write the thing down, right?
No, I did not.
You talked to Sharon Sanchez for an hour long, right?
Correct.
You didn't write a thing down.
Correct.
Was that right?
Correct.
You didn't write any of this stuff down.
Correct.
Officer Reeves wrote a supplement. Is that the right way to do it?
Yes.
Officer Insulaco wrote a supplement. Is that the right way to do it?
Yes.
You didn't bother to write a supplement.
No, I did not.
And you're the guy that let it go.
Is there a question there?
And you're the guy that let him go?
I made the final decision, yes.
You made the final decision. And all the while, by your side was Lieutenant Blankenship, who has a conflict of interest in this case. correct?
I never conferred with her at any, out there. She was there, but I did not run anything by her. As far as what I was doing. Like I said, I had made, I'm thinking 3 phone calls, at least 2 or 3 phone calls with Major Tom Corley about what I was doing. I never conferred with Lieutenant Blankenship about what I was doing.
Fact is, sir, is it true that in any other situation with this in the past, you would have made an arrest?
No,
This is the kind of investigation that any sexual assault or DV victim can expect from Lieutenant Beaver?
we make, the preferred response is an arrest in regards to the primary aggressor.
We didn't get the preferred
We
response.
could not determine the primary aggressor.
This is the real reason, sir, that the primary aggressor was the sheriff of Madison County.
That had nothing to
And
do with
you
it.
didn't have the intestinal fortitude to do the right thing.
The fact that he was sheriff had nothing to do with it.
No further questions.
Thank you.